Hi, this is Rich Carlson. Welcome to another episode of The Art of Rope Work here at Canyons and Crags. This is the third of a third-part series on Deadman Anchors. Today we're going to be talking about cairn anchors, where we're actually using a mass of rocks without anything being buried. So, grab your gear and a rope and follow along. This is where I pause for a moment to give you time to subscribe to my channel, smash the like button, and share this video with all your friends on social media. Thanks. When you hear the word cairn, do you think of those pretty smooth rocks stacked up in a meditation garden? Or do you think of the piles of rocks used to mark trails? Sometimes extremely helpful, sometimes annoying. One cairn is enough to mark a trail. Two is excessive. And if you leave those two cairns alone... In this video, we're talking about Deadman Anchor cairns, piles of rock with enough mass that we can use them as an anchor. In part 1 of this series, we talked about a classic deadman, where we're digging a T-shaped trench and burying an object used as an anchor. In part 2, we talked about ways to tie webbing around the object that you're going to be using as your deadman. We also talked about adding additional mass on top of a deadman if you're unable to dig to a sufficient depth. If you were going to rely entirely upon an above-ground pile of rocks as your anchor, the first step is to find some geometry in the surface of the rock that works in your benefit. For the anchor we're building today, we're relying simply on a slight upward slope in the rock. Notice that we're starting with a relatively flat rock. It gives us two advantages. One, the bottom surface of our rock more closely matches the rock surface that we're building on to take better advantage of friction. And second, the flat rock gives us a more stable base to build on. We will test these cairn anchors a little later in the video. This is what our first cairn anchor looks like from the back. It's a stable and usable anchor, but there are other configurations that make it easier to inspect the webbing. For our second anchor, we started with the same flat rock, but instead of building directly on top of it, we added two large flat rocks in front of it on either side of the webbing. From there, we added more rocks to increase the mass, bridging some rocks over the top of others so the webbing remained visible. For this third anchor, we still used that same flat rock as a starting point, but this time we elevated it on top of two other flat rocks and then added mass in front of it. This configuration provides a space between the ground and the bottom of our cairn anchor, which makes it even easier to inspect webbing or to replace webbing. It could even lend itself to the use of a retrievable toggle system. Before I show you the testing, don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's turn this video into a conversation. Have you been using Deadman anchors? Do you think you will start using them after watching this video series? Inquiring minds want to know. So here's my buddy Joe Storms on a mission to make this cairn anchor fail. There you go, Joe. Get that webbing up around your waist. Put your foot up on the rock so you can push a little harder. But make sure you keep that webbing low like it would be in a normal rappel. It seems we may have overbuilt that cairn anchor, so we removed some of the rocks just for Joe's ego so he could make it fail. But try as he might, as long as he was pulling down, that anchor would not budge. It seems the anchor was still overbuilt, so we took one more rock off. Surely it'll fail now. Still not failing. Okay, Joe, you can pull up on it if you want, but you know people don't normally rappel up. To learn some cool techniques on how to make a cairn anchor bomber, check out another video of mine, Friendly, Friction, and Meat. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you think it will benefit others, please share it on your favorite social media. The best way to keep this old man motivated to produce more videos like this one, while I still can, will be to subscribe to my channel. Thanks.